What is going on, all you lovely Ubisoft fans? I'm Predictable60 here, bringing you guys the next gameplay in the new game, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now this is the beta, so do not get it confused. I do not have the real game yet, but it does come out next month on the 5th, I believe. So hopefully you all will be with me when I start playing that game fully, but this is, like I said, the beta. So stay tuned, because now I'm about to show you guys a little in-depth of what I actually got to do in this game. Now I actually wanted to get into the character creation thing, so this is pretty much what it starts off looking like. You basically get to design your character before the game actually starts, so that when you enter the first cutscene, he already looks like how you want him to look. Now this is not like the Division, because I think that, you know, you had to do, I don't remember, I think you had to do a few things before you actually started the game, but at the same time I also want to say that you just instantly got to make a character on that game too. Now I will say that these are kind of similar in a way, but I think there's more features in this game that they kind of failed to do in the Division. Now the same people made the Division as they made on this, but they spent a lot more time with this game, and I honestly want to say they probably realized their mistakes once they actually let Division launch, and they realized that there was so much different stuff they could have done, and they got a lot of feedback from their own fans letting them know what they did like and what they didn't like. And you know, for me personally, when I played the Division, I thought the game was amazing. You know, I really did. And it wasn't until I got to level 30 that you realize the game's kind of dull now. And then once I also realized that once you got to a certain level, it kind of turned into Destiny as far as the light level stuff. Armor level is what they call it in Division. I was not a big fan of that, and I think that was a lot of the reason people kind of fell off that game, was because they were like, wow, this is just like playing Destiny. If I wanted to play Destiny, I would just stay on that game, you know? So that was where they messed up, and I think they took a lot of that into consideration and corrected their mistake. So I wanted to touch base on the graphics for this game, just because a lot of people might say, well, they could have done a lot better on the graphics. Well, you have to understand, and I can still give it to Ubisoft for making the game this big and this diverse, just for the simple fact that by it being so big and having so much content put into one game, you have to understand they can't do everything spot on perfectly. So that means that the graphics had to suffer for them to be able to create such a vast and open world that they wanted to create. And like I said, you really have to give it to them just for at least doing this much. I mean, this is one of their biggest games they've ever created, and I honestly have to say they've done a great job, and everything so far seems really accurate. Now of course some things are not very accurate due to it being a beta, so we probably haven't seen the full performance of it. Once the actual game comes out, we'll probably get to see a better way that this game was done, and hopefully it was actually a lot more smooth, and everything might look a little bit better than it already does. So hopefully you all will be able to see that when this game actually drops. Now while I played this beta, I did enjoy myself, and I did enjoy what they presented to you in this beta. I don't know if this is the actual first mission. I'm pretty sure it will be, just for the simple fact that, I mean, you kind of are getting started, and you kind of are just doing everything for the first time, and you're really just trying to see how this game is really going to play out. And basically what I got to experience when I played this game was really only the beginning, because, you know, like I really didn't get a lot of time playing this beta just because I had work and whatnot. But as far as having fun and just seeing what this game was about, I will say the gameplay in some ways, in some areas, does seem like Division. Now that's not a bad thing, because it's not like the entire game is completely Division based, but I mean, there are things that I noticed that were a lot like Division, but you got to consider as well, the same people who made Division also made this game, so you have to understand that of course they're going to have things that are similar. Now when you actually are shooting, because I got to use a sniper in this game, when you're actually shooting the sniper, I will say it's a lot like playing Battlefield, any one of them, just because there is bullet drop, there is bullet, you have to keep up with, actually the bullet drop is probably one of the main things, just because you can't, if you see someone and you have them in your sights and your red dot is on someone's head and they're walking as you're aiming on their head, you probably won't hit them, because you have to consider the timing of the bullet. I mean, it actually does have like a bullet travel time, so you have to consider all that stuff before you get your shot right, and you have to consider the bullet drop depending on the angle that you're shooting from. So that's what I mean when I say this game is very realistic in some aspects. But overall, if I had to give a true opinion on this game, I did enjoy what I did see, and I did have a lot of fun. I think that this will be one of the games that I actually can say that will be somewhere. I won't know if for sure if I can say game of the year just yet. I have to play it a lot more, but there are things that I still have noticed that might need to be changed up a little bit. Now, there are a few glitches that I noticed in this. So as far as like something small, like one of the things I remember like easily is like on the mini map when you have a teammate in there, like an actual friend. For some reason, the icon on the mini map for your friend kind of goes crazy sometimes, and I don't know why. Like it spins around like really fast, and it's like spazzing out almost. And it's just like, I mean, I guess of course it's a beta, so of course it's gonna have glitches and whatnot. But that's just one of the things I noticed. And there's probably a bunch of other things that people have posted on Reddit or something. And I have seen one video where a guy had 4 stars on the Unidad, I think is what it's called, the Unidad tribe or whatever, clan or whatever they are, the purple guys as I call them. He got 4 stars on them, and when he looks out, he sees like there's like 50 of them. It's like a pile of ants. They're all in one truck shooting at this guy, and it's kind of ridiculous. And I was just like, what if the guy had like a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher or something to take them all out? But truthfully speaking, I mean, this is again a game that has had a lot of time worked on it. They've been working on this game for 4 years, and just next month on the 5th, March 5th, we're gonna have this game in our possession. I, for one, will be getting the $100 version of it. I also got the $100 version of Division. I'm just a very big supporter of Ubisoft, and I like what they do. I like what they're about, and I like how they handle things as far as what the community wants, because you know they actually with this game stuck to more modern day technology. It's nothing special. Like all the guns are pretty just normal basic stuff with your average attachments on it, and it's again in my opinion really cool. If you guys can see right here, I'm actually just looking around seeing how to move around and play the game, and you can see right here I actually well, a little bit before this, but you could actually see that I was just seeing you can switch between first person shooting and the third person shooting over the shoulder, which I think is a pretty cool aspect because you don't always have to look with one or the other. You have a choice. You don't have to have either over the shoulder all the time or scoped in only if you have a sniper rifle or something stupid like that. So I think that's a pretty cool aspect, and people have said this is like GTA 5, and I think in some small ways it is. And I also think that it's whoever said it's like Far Cry. I mean, that's a really good comparison. Those two games are I can see included in this game as far as what you have to do and the motive of this game. But I, for one, like the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And on that note, I think I'm going to end things here because there wasn't much more that I was able to do due to the fact that I had work all week, and it was just annoying for me. So thank you all for watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed my opinion on this video, then please go ahead and subscribe because there will be a lot more gameplay on this game with me and my friends. We're going to be doing all kind of crazy stuff. I might even do tutorials on the guns they have. And if you guys like to go ahead and subscribe because you love this game, go ahead and do so. Until next time, guys.